Okay, guys. So now let's go back to the index.html. So I'm just going to click on index.html. Open with like server. Right click, open with like server. Good. This is to just have the instance on real time. And I'm going to go to the styles.css to give some styles. So first, I'm going to import a font. That is going to be family Poppins. So I'm just going to copy and paste the import. As you know, I always have all these lessons on GitHub, so you can find the link on the description of this video. Good. So now we are going to proceed to assign certain variables. So let's put here a comment that says variables. Good. So since I want to use certain variables, I'm going to use the root selector. Excellent. And here I'm going to copy and paste some colors that I have and also a shadow. So let me just copy and paste here to avoid spelling issues. Basically what I have here, as you see, is primary color, secondary color, a text color, border color, BG color, white, and shadow. As you know, we reference all these variables by using the bar. So I'm going to do some resets right now throughout the global selector. So let's put here comment global reset. Good. Let me use here the star selector, and here we are going to set a margin 0, a padding of 0, a box sizing of border box, and I want to set also the font family. So the font family is going to be the Poppins. So let's put here Poppins, and in the case that we don't have Poppins, it's going to be sans serif. So you see, it changed the font family. Good. So now for the body, I want the body to be a flex box. So let's put here display flex. Then I want justifying counter to be center, align items to be on the center too. We are going to have a mean height of 100 beaver height. So in this way we get the elements in the middle. Excellent. And then I want to reference the background, and I want to use one of the bars that I have at the top, and we are going to be referencing the BG color. Excellent. So now I want to define styles for the wrapper that we have, the deep wrapper. So let's put here wrapper, and the wrapper is going to have a width of 400 pixels. 400 pixels. Good. Then I want a background that is going to be the white color. So let's put here bar and then white. I want a padding to be 30 pixels. I want a border radius to be 20 pixels. And then I want a box shadow to be using the shadow that we have at the top. So let's put here hyphen hyphen and then shadow. Good. Now I want to give some styles for the slide controls that we have here, these two. So let's put here slide hyphen controls, which is the class that we previously created on the HTML. It's going to have a position of relative. Then I want a display of flex. Later I want a height of 50 pixels. I want a width to be 100%. I want a margin bottom to be 25 pixels. I want a border to be 1 pixel solid, and the bar that we are going to be referencing here is the border color. Excellent. Then I want a border radius to be 10 pixels. and I want an overflow to be hidden. Excellent. So now for the slide that is inside of the slide controls, I want to set certain styles. So let's put here slide. Here for the slides, I want a height to be 100%. I want a width to be 50%. Then a color that we are going to be referencing the variable of text color. And I want a font size to be 16 pixels. I want a font weight of 600. I want a text align to be center. Excellent. Then align height to be 50 pixels. So as you see, we are positioning the elements in the middle. Then I want a cursor to be pointer, a C index that is going to be 1, and then I want a transition that is going to be for all properties. So let's put here all. I want to be 0.4 seconds with ease. Then I want to reference the inputs that we have inside of the slide. So here I want to reference the inputs that are type radio. So let's put here dot slide controls and then input, and we are going to be using here the attribute that are a type of radio. So we need to put this on a string radio, and here I want to display none. Yes. So you see, basically we do this to hide the bullet points that we have over there, because we don't need them for the purpose of this part of the form. Good. So now I'm going to be giving some styles to the slider tab that is inside of the slider control. So let's put here slide controls and then dot slider tab. And for the tab, we're going to be putting position of absolute. Then I want a height of 100%. I want a width to be 50%. Then I want a background. The background, we are going to be referencing the primary color, which is a blue. Excellent. Then I want here a left that is going to be 0. And let's put then a border radius that is going to be 10 pixels. And a transition that I wanted for all, 0.4 seconds. And here we are going to be using an animation that is called Cubic Bezier. So you will see the movement that is going to be generated by this transition here that we have for the Cubic Bezier later. Good. So now I want to reference the tab colors. So let's put here for the sign up ID that is on check. We are going to do something, and for the slider tab, we wanted that to be with a left of 50%. Good. Then we are going to do the same for the login and the sign up. So I'm just going to just going to copy these selectors. So the login on check inside of the label login and the sign up on check for the label sign up, I want to do something here. I'm going to define that when they are checked, I want the two color to be the white that we have on the bar. So here we are going to reference that is the white. So you see that changes over there. Good. Then for the cursor, I want to be default, and then user select none. User select none. Excellent. Then I want for the sign up check and the label that is login, I want the color to be referencing to the text color variable. So let's put here text color, and basically we change it. And I want also for the login, when it's checked, the label sign up to be the same color. So here we have when the login is checked, I want the label of the sign up to be the text color that we have here at the top. That is this one, 333 is kind of like a black. So you see, if we change, you see that we have this Cubic Bezier animation is because we are animating throughout this. And if we have it checked, it will be changing to the white color for the font, and the one that is not checked is going to be having the black color. So that's why you see the change when we are between check and uncheck. Excellent. So now we are going to give styles for the form container. So let's put here the class of form container. And here for the form container, I want a width to be 100% and an overflow to be hidden. Good. Then I want give some style for the form inner. So let's put here form container and then form inner. So for the form inner, I want a display to be flex, and then I want a width to be 200%. Good. Then I want to give some style for the form that are inside of the form inner. So let's put here form inner and then reference to the form. Here on the form, I want to have a width of 50%. Then I want a padding. The padding is going to be 0 top and bottom, and left and right is going to be 10 pixels. Then I want a transition. We are going to have all the properties that have the transition of 0.6 seconds. I also want the Cubic Bezier, so I'm just going to copy and paste this animation that I have here. Good. So after this, I want to check if the sign up is checked, and then for the form inner and the form logic, we want to have a margin left of 50%. So let me just copy the selector here. What this means is that if we are checked on the sign up, the form inner and the form login is going to have a margin left of 50% in the form login in this case. Good. Then I want to give some styles for the field that are inside of the form and the form inner. So let's put here form inner and then form and then the class of field. Here we are going to have a height that is going to be 55 pixels. Then I want a width of 100%. After this, I want a margin bottom to be 20 pixels. Excellent. And then I want to give some styles for the input that are inside of the field. So let's just copy this selector here and add in the input. Here for the input, I'm going to set a height of 100%. Then I want a width to be 100% too. Good. I want a padding left to be 18 pixels. I want a border radius to be 8 pixels. I want a border to be 1 pixel solid, and then we are going to be referencing the bar of border color. So let's put here border color. Excellent. Then I want a font size to be 16 pixels. I want a transition for all the attributes. So let's put here all, and 0.3 seconds with ease. Good. Then I want some padding at the top, so let's put here padding top to be 5 pixels, and then I want a padding bottom to be 5 pixels too. Excellent. So after this, I want to give some styles for the input on focus. So let's put here form inner, the form inside of the field class, and then I want the input on focus state. And I want to do something with it. So here the border color is going to be referencing to the primary color bar. Excellent. So after this, I want to give some styles for the input. So let me here reference the form inner form dot btn and input, and here I want to have a color of white variable, so let's put here color and then reference to the white variable. Excellent. Then I want to set the font size to be 18 pixels, so let's put here font size 18 pixels. After this, I want a font weight to be 500. A padding left to be 0. We want some border none to get rid of it. Excellent. Then I want a cursor to be pointer and a background. The background is going to be referencing to the primary color. So we do bar and then primary color. Excellent. Nice. So here right now we are going to set some styles for the link forgot password. So here we are going to set to the form inner, and then the form and the class of pass link, pass hyphen link, and the a. We also want it for form inner form for the sign up link. So let's put here sign up link, and the a. We want this to have a color that is going to be referencing to the primary color. So let's put here bar and then primary color. I want a text decoration to be none. Excellent. Now I want to give some margin to the pass link. So let's put here. Let me just copy this form inner form. And the pass link, I want to have a margin in the top and bottom. Well, in all the borders, I want to have a margin of 10 pixels. Good. After this, I want to give some styles for the sign up link. So let's put here. Let me just copy this. Form inner form sign up link. And here I want to have a text align of center. Then I want a margin top to be 25 pixels. I want a font size to be 14 pixels, and a color for the font to be referencing to the text color, that is 333. Good. So now I want to give some styles on hover for the pass link and the sign up link. I'm going to copy the selectors. Here, as you see, I'm referencing to the A tag that we have here on line 147 and 148, but I want them on hover state. And on hover state, they are going to have a text decoration of underline. So if I hover into them, you see, it will be coming back the underline because we are using that on the line of 166. Now I want to give some styles for the error messages. So let's put here the class of error text. Here for the error text, I want to have a color that is going to be number FF4D4D. So yeah, let me set this on a variable at the top to have everything on the same place. Here I'm going to put let's put error color. Yeah, better to do that. And here at the bottom we are going to be referencing that variable. So let's put here var and then error color. Excellent. Then I want to have a font size of 12 pixels. I want a margin top to be minus 15 pixels. This is for the error. We are not going to be able to see it unless we have an error on the form. Then for the margin bottom, we are going to have a 5 pixels. Then a padding left to be 5 pixels. And a height that is going to be 15 pixels. Excellent. Then I want to give some styles for the password field. So let's put here password field. And the password field is going to have a position of relative. After this, I want to have some styles for the password field and the input. So let's put here class password field and then the input that is inside of it. I want the input to have a padding right of 40 pixels. And since we want to override no matter if there are other classes referencing to this element, we put here important. Excellent. Then I want one for the toggle password. So let's put here the class of toggle password. And here for the toggle password, I want to have a position of absolute. Good. Then I want to have a top that is going to be 50%. Then I want a right to be 15 pixels. So a right to be 15 pixels. And a transform. I want a transform that I'm going to translate on the y-axis. And it's going to be minus 50%. So you see now it's just right in the middle. I want a cursor to be pointer, so let's put here cursor pointer. And then I want a color. The color is going to be AAA. Yeah, and we want a transition for the color with 0.2 seconds with ease. Excellent. So now on hover we are going to change the color of the icon. So let's put here toggle password on hover status. I want to change the color to one of the bars that I have at the top, and we are going to be changing to the primary. So if I hover, you see now it changes. Excellent. Now I'm going to give some styles to the model that we have here. So as you see, good. So now let's give some styles to the forgot password model class. And here we are going to have a position of fixed. So now the top is going to be 0. I want the left to be 0, 2. I want a width to be 100%. Okay. Then I want a height to be 100% too. I want a background that is going to be for the overlay. So This is an RGBA. So let me just copy and paste the RGBA so you see. So in this way we are letting know that we have the model at the top. Okay, so I want to have a display of none because we don't want to see yet, but yeah, let me just put this at the top so in that way you see how it looks like once we get it done, and then we just put it, so in this way we are going to hide it. So now for the background there, we want to have justified content to be on the center, and I want the align items to be on the center. I want a C index, so like a stack. This is going to be just at the front, so let's put here C index to be 1000. So now you see that we are above the login form that we have originally. Good. And then I want a backdrop filter, and I want to have some blur of let's put 3 pixels. So you see, so basically we are assigning some blur that lets it know that the user needs to be focusing on this form that we have here. Excellent. So now let's put here another class for the forgot password model. If it is active, that means that we want to display flex, because if we have the display of none, that means that the model is not present, and if we want to be shown, we are going to be setting the display to be flex. Excellent. So now for the model content, we are going to give some other classes. So let's put here model content, and the model content, we are going to have a background that we are going to be referencing the white that we have here at the top. Excellent. Then we are going to have a padding that is going to be 30 pixels. I want to have a border radius that is going to be 20 pixels. After this, we want a width to be 380 pixels. Good. We want a position to be relative. And I want a box shadow to be referencing to the variable of box shadow that we have at the top. So let's put here, yeah, for the shadow. Good. Now I want to give some styles for the H2. So let's put here model content, and I want the H2 heading that is inside of it. I want a color that is going to be referencing to the primary color at the top of the variables. Then I want a text align to be center. I want a margin bottom. Margin bottom is going to be 20 pixels. And I want a font weight that is going to be 700. Excellent. So now I want to give some styles for the P tag. Let's put model content, the P tag. And here for the peak, I want a font size to be 14 pixels. Then the color is going to be the text color variable. So let's put here bar and then text color. I want a text align to be center and a margin bottom to be 15 pixels. Good. So this is for the text here. Now I want to give some styles for the field group of the forgot password form. So let's put here the ID of forgot hyphen password form, and then the field group that is inside of it, field group. For this I want to have a margin bottom to be 20 pixels. Yes, nice. So after this, I want to address the input that is inside of the forgot password form that is type of email. So let's put here, let's copy this selector here, or the ID selector of forgot password form, and then inside of here I want to reference the input that is type email. And with this, we are going to set a height to be 50 pixels. Then I want a width to be 100 pixels. I want a padding left to be 18 pixels. I want a border radius to be 8 pixels. Excellent. Then I want a border. I want the border to be 1 pixel solid. And the bar is going to be border color. Border color, let's change that. Yeah, good. Then I want a font size to be 16 pixels. And I want a transition. This transition is going to be for all the properties with 0.3 seconds, and I want to have the ease animation. Excellent. So now I want to give some styles for the submit button. So I'm going to copy the ID of forgot password form here, and then we are going to be referencing the class of btn and the input that is inside of the btn class. So here I want the width to be 100%. I want the height to be 50 pixels too. I want a color that is going to be the white variable that we have at the top. Good. Then I want a font size to be 18 pixels. I want a font weight. The font weight is going to be 500. I want a padding left. The padding left is going to be 0. The border, we don't want any border, so we want it to be none. Okay, excellent. Then I want a cursor to be pointer. I want a background that we are going to be referencing the primary color that we have at the top. So primary color. Good. And then a border radius to be 8 pixels. Okay, nice. We are almost there. We need also to give some styles to the button, in this case the close, this one here. So let's put here the class of close. Let's put close modal btn. We want to have a position of absolute. Then I want to have a top of 15 pixels. I want to have a right of 15 pixels. 2. Good. Then I want a font size to be 35 pixels. I want a line height of 1. Let's put some cursor pointer. I want a background to be none. Excellent. Then I want a color that we are going to be referencing to the variable of text color. So let's put here text color. I want an opacity to be 0.7, and I want a transition on that opacity. So let's put here opacity, and it's going to be 0.2 seconds. Let me see if I'm missing something here. Yeah, we can put border none. Border none. Yeah, that looks better. Good. After this, I want to give some styles for the button on hover. So let's put here close modal btn on hover. And on hover, I want to have an opacity of 1. And then I want to have a color that we are going to be referencing the error color that we have at the top. Good. Then I want for the modal message, I want a padding to be 10 pixels. Then I want to have a border radius of 5 pixels. Excellent. Then a font size of 14 pixels, and a font weight. Let's put here font weight of 500. And after this, I want a margin top to be 15%, and then important because we want to be overriding this property. Excellent. And then a text align of center. So now all that we need to do is we need to hide this forgot password. We had it commented here. Now the modal is not on the center because once we set the display to be flex, as we have here on the active, is when it's going to be on the middle. So for example, if here on the display, instead of display none, I put to be display flex, you will see that the modal is going to be at the center. But this is going to be setting through JavaScript, and that's why we have this class key of active. Excellent. So now instead of here, we are going to put display none. And now let's proceed to give some styles to the dashboard.html. What we just do here is make a right click and open with light server on the dashboard.html to get the email. To get the tab open here. Let's go to the CSS. And now we are also going to import the Poppins font size, the font family, sorry. And then for the body here, I want a font family of then Poppins, and then I want sans serif. If we don't have it, I want to have a display of flex. Excellent. Then I want a flex direction to be column. I want a justified content to be on the center, and align items to be on the center too. We want a mean height of 100% viewport height, and a background that is going to be this color here. Excellent. Then I want a margin to be 0. So then we want to give some styles for the welcome class. So let's put here welcome. And for the welcome here, let's put some background to be white. We want a padding to have 40 pixels. A border radius to be 10 pixels. Excellent. Then I want a box shadow to be 0.8 pixels, 25 pixels, and RGBA that I have here. I'm going to copy to speed up this part. Excellent. Then a text align to be center. Then I want to give some styles for the H1 of inside of the welcome. So let's put here welcome H1, and we are going to have the color of the blue that we have on the other CSS. So let's put here 007B FF, and then I want a margin bottom to be 10 pixels. Good. For the user info, I want to give some styles too. So for the user info here, I'm going to have a margin top that is going to be 20 pixels. Then the padding is going to be 15 pixels. I want a border to be 1 pixel dash, and basically the same color of the blue. So let's put it here. Excellent. Then I want a border radius to be 5 pixels and a background of white. So, but we are referencing other colors. So let's put here number F0 FAFF. Good. So after this, we want to give some styles to the p tag inside of the user info. So let's put here user info p tag, and we want a margin to be 5 on top and bottom, and then 0 on left and right. We want also a font size to be 16 pixels. So let's put here font size 16 pixels, and a color that is going to be number 333. Excellent. So after this, I want to set for the welcome class and then the button, and here the background is going to be the red that we had on the other CSS. So let's put here FF for D to reference to the red. Excellent. Then I want the color of the font of the button to be white. Good. Then I want a padding, top to be 10 pixels and left and right to be 20 pixels. I want border to be none. I want a border radius to be 5 pixels, and a cursor pointer to be cursor pointer. Yeah. I want a margin top to be 25 pixels to have some space between this area and here. Good. Then I want a font weight to be 600, and a transition. I want a transition on the background of 0.3 seconds. And I want also to give some styles on the button on hover. So let's put here welcome, and then the button. I want on hover. And I want to change the background. So the background is going to be number E6 0 0 0 0. Yeah. So so that concludes the part of the dashboard. Now we are going to go to the giving some interactions to the script.js and the dashboard.html to conclude with all the authentication series.